Welcome back to the KEMPIRE Daily YouTube channel. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the uploads. In today's video, I wanted to quickly talk about 90 Day Fiancé, the latest episode. We have finally been introduced to the newest couple, Stephanie and Ryan. So Stephanie, she owns multiple businesses in regards to wellness and like cosmetic stuff. She's like 50 something years old. She definitely looks like she's had some work done, but it looks good. It looks good for her. But we also are introduced to her lover, 27-year-old Ryan from Belize. Already, she is not that. And anytime I say favorite, it means good for the show. She's not my personal favorite. Could this be someone I hang out with? No. However, for the show, she's perfect and she's exactly what we've needed this entire season. Because as I said to you before, here on this platform and also on the KEMPIRE Radio podcast, the season has been a slow start. You have couples that we've known from other past seasons that were not interesting. Why bring them back? And then we have some new couples that we still are warming up to. We'll talk about them in a second, but let's talk a little bit about the newest couple, Stephanie and Ryan. Well, from the jump, we can tell that Stephanie is interesting. She also says that she's been closed off to relationships for a very long time. She's dated younger people before. She embraces being called a cougar. But we also see that she reaches out to the mother because she can't get in contact with Ryan, which she says they've had trust issues in the past. And this is the longest because of COVID that they haven't seen each other in several months. She had to apply for him to get the K-1 visa to come to the States so they can get married. However, after we get all this information about this couple, she reveals her secret after speaking with her psychic / friend. I think the psychic is sort of saying like, I don't need to see your cards to tell you, girl, you in trouble. She reveals to the psychic and to the audience that she cheated on Ryan after she discovered he was talking to several girls. But guess what she cheated with? This is straight out of Jerry Springer. She cheated with his cousin Harris. By the way, Harris is quite handsome. Actually, probably more handsome than Ryan. So far, I'm sold into this couple. I'm looking forward to see what Stephanie brings. We needed her from the beginning because it's been a slow start. Anyways, also, by the way, the phone call with Stephanie and Ryan's mother, it was awkward. it was awkward. Anyways, Andrew and Amira. I have the names in front of me, guys, because some of these people I cannot remember. But Andrew and Amira, this week, we see that Andrew is flying down to Mexico because he's found an alternate way to get Amira into the country. Because as you know, the season is taking during a pandemic. We are still in a pandemic. Anyways, he's discovered a way for her to get to him, and it's through Mexico, where they are going to quarantine in Mexico and then come back through the United States. Well, they go through all of this hoopla, the traveling and everything like that, to find out once he gets to Mexico, he finds out that Amira has been detained in Mexico City. He tries calling, they don't speak English, he hangs up. Our prize-winning couple has to be Brandon and Julia, and of course, his parents. So they finally get to the family farm. We get to see Julia on the farm. And I have to say, she gets emotional when she first gets there because she sees it and it's a sweet emotional. But that quickly changes when she starts to see that she has to work the farm and things like that. I feel like the mother could approach this a little bit better instead of just saying, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. I mean, it's her first day there. I would warm her up to this whole new life instead of just throwing her in. But then that wouldn't make good TV. So, as I've always said, the mother is a producer. She's making this interesting. Because if you grew up in a city, even if it wasn't Russia, if you grew up in a city and you were thrown into this farm, you probably would have some of the reservations as Julia does. And the other big issue for this couple is that Julia would like to sleep with Brandon. And as I said on the podcast, and I've said here before, I get it where the parents are coming from. It is their home. This is not an unusual request. I'm sure a lot of people out there can relate to when you're in your parents' home. If you're there with your boyfriend, you can't sleep in the same room There are a lot of people that struggle with this issue. But Brandon has tried multiple times to talk to his mother about it. Julia's not happy with it. Did you guys see Julia's room? Why did Brandon's beautiful room look so beautiful and clean? We get to Julia's room. There's like buckets that are in there that need to be removed. Again, the mother is producing a reality show, and I love it. But anyways, I love it when Brandon sorts of make a joke about it when they bring it up again. And the father is like, I mean, the mother's sweet and passive aggressive, but the father, which you don't really see in these reality shows, which I kind of liked because I was like, he's right. It's his house. If that's the way they want it, if you don't like it, you know what you can do. But the father gets Brandon together. This is not a joke. This is what we expect, period. I was like, even I stood up a little bit like, oh, yes, sir. The couple that I rarely love to talk about, Zayed and Rebecca. Rebecca, we get a moment in this episode where Rebecca is constantly checking the site where you check to see the K1 visa status. She's literally on camera hitting refresh. And I'm sure there was some editing in regards to how many times she did that. But literally, this is the same day she's hitting refresh. But it's also the same day she figures out he finally has been approved. Then we go to Tunisia where Zayed is. And I have to say, Zayed has gained a lot of respect for me because he said he's been saving money. He's going to get her a beautiful piece of jewelry for when he comes to America. Like, I feel like there's a genuine love between these two. However, Rebecca, slow your roll a little bit. And they're also not that interesting. The other couple, of course, and least that I want to talk about, and we've talked about them several times. They've been on the show before, Natalie and Mike. Natalie is not adjusting to this new life. And as I said in the podcast, I feel like I get it because she also is coming from a city. A lot of us in America think, oh, Russia, but you don't realize there are cities very much like our big cities. And then throwing them into this sort of farm country life is going to be a big deal. So I get it. I understand it. But then Natalie shows us another side. Even though we've seen this side multiple times when she was with Uncle Bo, we've seen this side several times through her time on 90 Day Fiancé. However, she said she must have been doing some research in regards to where they are. And she said, oh, there's a waterfall. Let's go do the waterfall. And Mike says, okay, we could do the waterfall. We can do it the following weekend. Because he's like, it's a couple of hours away. And she's like, oh, not this weekend, the following weekend. And he's like, yeah, the following weekend, because logistically and practically, it's not going to work out because he's working. And she throws a fit, like a passive aggressive fit where she breaks down. And like I said, I get it. But at the same time, she's not trying to be understanding at all. She's not trying to be understanding at all. And I have to give it to Mike. I feel like he is really trying. Be compassionate, give her options. And I also get it from her side that, you know what, she's not going to have a lot to do. There's not a lot to do. She doesn't drive, so she's not going to be able to go into town and do things when he's working. There are a lot of things here, but Natalie has to give a little bit more. She has to. I'm going to watch this couple. I don't know what's going to happen. Jovi and Yara. This is one couple that I hope does not get married, just because I feel like there's a lot. I feel like they're both too immature to be getting married because they're just not giving. You know, if you're going to be in a relationship, you're about to marry this person, you have to find some sort of compromise. They go out shopping. Understandably, as we spoke with Alex on the podcast, you know, women will come in and make subtle changes here and there without an argument about things. However, she is just like, I want to change this, I want to change that. And Jovi is having a fit because he's like, I tried to do something and it's not working out. And you're not appreciative of what I tried to do. And Jovi just seems like one of those, you're a bachelor. He doesn't, you know, he's not into decor. You know what I mean? But he's really trying. And now he's feeling defeated. And they have a whole breakdown in this furniture store. And I can't blame Yara because I feel like the way Jovi said it, my apartment as opposed to our apartment, you're about to marry this person. So he sort of had this power play with her. And then he sort of backtracks on it eventually, but they end up leaving the furniture store. Not too sure, still not that interested in this couple. But as I've said many times, 90 Day Fiance producers know better than us. I believe things are starting to get better, especially because of the new addition of Stephanie and Ryan. If you're watching 90 Day Fiance, let's talk about it in the comments and let me know your favorite couple or your favorite moment from this week's episode. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the uploads. I'll see you tomorrow.